Great story there by Greg Rust and, of course, James down there at ANCAP, a very, very important institute and measuring system for when you're buying a car. So much research that goes into those ANCAP ratings, and it's great to see Greg Rust covering that and the likes of the engineers like James that are keeping us safe out there. And we thank ANCAP for their involvement this year with the Shannons Nationals, very important partnership with the Confederation of Australian Motorsport and ANCAP. Safety is always paramount and at the forefront of anyone's mind when they're going car racing. I guess we take the drivers out of that equation a little bit as we see the 944s coming around to the grid. The drivers just want to win. Darren Smith here with Matt Dunlop, the 944s on track. Matt, we had a qualifying session this morning and what seems as usual, Cameron Bella on pole.
Cameron Bella certainly is on pole, with Adam Brewer putting in a career best qualifying result of second position to line up next to him on the front row. So it's going to be a great duel, hopefully, between those two, at least in the early stages of this race. Third position will be Brad Winter in his comeback drive, having been out of the car for a bit over a year and a half. Great result from him in third, and the gap between third down to about fifth and sixth, very close margins, and the final order ended up between those ones of Ken Rowland in fourth, Rob Holding fifth, Michael Westaway in sixth, Torbitz in seventh, Tony Westaway in eighth, Dickie Howe in ninth, Tony Andrzejewski in 10th, down to Greg Rust.
Matt, I just wanted to bring up the fact that Tony Andrzejewski is in fact a part of the field here. As you know, Porsche is very proud of its involvement globally and here in Australia in motorsport. And of course, Tony holds a very privileged position within the company with Porsche Cars Australia as their Director of Motorsport and Marketing. And, you know, ordinarily we see him at the track in the background of the Carrera Cup and GT3 Cup Challenge, but fantastic to see him behind the wheel here. He just loves it.
That's exactly right, Greg. It's always fantastic to see him getting behind the wheel, along with all these other blokes in the Porsche 944 Challenge field. It's a really great category for anyone who's either looking to make their way through the early motorsport ranks, or even just blokes who want to grab a car, get out and have a go. It's got something for everyone. The cars are completely even in terms of performance, or relatively speaking. A lot of parts of control, the engine, the gearbox, the suspension, all that sort of important stuff. And it's now a part of the Porsche Young Driver Development Program, as such that the champion of the Porsche 944 Challenge gets the opportunity to drive a Porsche GT3 Cup car at a track experience. And Cameron Bella took part in that the other week, and he had a fantastic time. So it really is a great opportunity for young drivers, isn't it, Darren?
Certainly is. Porsche throwing their weight around a lot of junior development, right from the Pace Carrera Cup through to the Porsche Michelin GT3 Cup Challenge. There's so many programs and a lot of money, which is all important in motorsport, being thrown into that junior development period of race drivers' lives. And I guess the 944s envelops just about everyone. It's the enthusiast, it's the serious racer, it's the man on the move or the girl on the move into other forms of motorsport. Richard Muscat springs immediately to mind with his championship year in the 944s. He took 15 race wins in that season. We are set for a race start. Across the front row, Brewer and Bella, they get away. Bella, as always, jumps away beautifully. Winter goes with him down to the inside, the funnel into turn one. We've got two specific groups, the front four, then this gaggle sitting mid-pack there being led by Holding. Then it's Michael Westaway, Torbitz in the mix there as well. And this little group immediately into turn one. We've got two battle packs for the first race for the weekend here at round 5 of the Shannons National.
There's a little bit of an awkward start there for a couple of the guys. Cameron Bella was able to take great advantage of that, and as you can see, he's already stretching out a few car lengths on Adam Brewer in second position. The yellow flag you saw waved, that you may have seen waved rather, on the start grid was for Peter Doherty, who seems to have stalled it on the grid and is fallen back quite some time now. But he is still running on the track, so we've still got 14 cars running in this race as it is, and they've all crossed the first timing beam. So it is Cameron Bella who still leads the way, with Dickie Howe going around the outside there, trying to take a late apex almost to get a bit more of a run through the Gumtree section of the circuit here. It is still Cameron Bella who leads, with Adam Brewer in second, and it looks like Winter is still sitting in third, with Ken Rowland right on his rear bumper.
This is going to be a good battle here. Ken Rowland in the mix here with Winter as well. These guys are going to battle it out. Ken Rowland, experienced 944 racer in the higher depot, number 4. We're around turn 8. They run up this straight here. He's right in the slipstream. Has he got enough pace to jump out under brakes? No. The 22, the clean set of heels, opens it up, and a wide open throttle pulls away very, very nicely indeed. Coming under fire now is Holding. He's got Anthony Westaway right behind him. You know you're in strife when there's a Westaway chasing you down, and Mark Torbitz ranging up in that gloss black 944.
Yeah, some great little battles appearing here, and there looks to be a bit of a smoke at the end of the back straight there. We'll have to see if anything's happened there. We just caught that on the camera angle you saw before as Dickie Howe took a little bit of a wide line on the main straight. Rob Holding is having a look up the inside of Tony Westaway now as they make their way down to turn 3. He's going to have a look, but I don't think... he's thinking about it, but he's not going to be able to do so any time here at turn 3. Tucks back underneath Tony Westaway, and Tony's on a charge. That car is a very rapid piece of machinery. Of course, it won the state championship last year behind with his son Jamie behind the wheel. So it's a quick bit of kit, and as you said before, Darren, they're a very rapid family.
Robert Holding started out of 5th place. He's gone back a spot. Tony Westaway's now taken that spot. It's Mark Torbert's actually. He started out of 8th, now into 7th. Michael Westaway in the number 45 holding station. Richard Howe started out of 9th. He's still in that spot in this race. So we've had an opening lap with a couple of changes, only minor position changes. Our first couple of rows of the grid as they started remain that way. Bella, Brewer, Winter and Rowland. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the grid and 1, 2, 3, 4 in this race. There was no challenge into turn 1 from Brewer over the driver of car 1, Cam Bella. And it looks as though Cam Bella now with almost a 2-second lead. It looks to be almost a situation normal, Matt.
Yep, he's packed his bags, he's checked under the bed for any loose socks, he's gone to reception and he has checked out already at lap 2. He's already pulled a gap of what appears to be just under 2 seconds, and that's subject to go even longer as they cross the start-finish line to start lap 3 now. Adam Brewer crosses the line and it's now a gap of 2.3 seconds. So 6/10 Cameron Bella has gained on that last lap. What a fantastic margin that is from Bella. Really shows you he knows how to steer one of these cars.
If you're going to run with puns, Matt, I'll have to follow you and chase you on that. Let's wonder if he's got the broom packed for a clean sweep here again this weekend like he did 12 months ago at the Shannons Nationals. Cameron Bella got this game on a string, and what it is supreme motivation for these other 13 cars in this race to try and chase him down. Any race driver, if someone's faster, their job is to catch them and then overtake them. So they will be extremely motivated to try and catch on to Cameron Bella.
That's exactly right. And of course, it is always sensational to watch Cameron Bella at the front of the grid, but you can see these fantastic battles dotted throughout the midfield behind him as Tony Westaway gets past Rob Holding again. These two are having an absolutely ding-dong scrap between themselves. Fantastic racing as Rob Holding looks around the outside, around the exit of the Gumtree section, heading towards the new, or the rather new development, I guess the
extended Winton out layout.
That's the one, yeah. They're just turning onto that left-hand bend now, onto those straights, and Rob Holding will be attempting to get a good slipstream up towards the final 2 corners of this circuit, but there's not a huge amount that really can be done with these cars. They don't get a massive amount of time to build up too much speed on these long straights, and especially also these relatively short straights here at Winton. So drafting is definitely a premium, particularly on a day where there's not a huge amount of wind.
Certainly these cars are all very evenly matched, very heavily controlled set of regulations, and they have been since the inception. In fact, there's only been a couple of suspension changes and brake changes over the 20 years that these cars have been racing on the Victorian State Circuit Racing Championship, a real stalwart category of the Victorian motor racing scene, and great to showcase them here at the Shannons Nationals here this weekend. Beautiful day locally here if you're anywhere around Albury, Cobram, Finley, anywhere around this area. If you're skiing at Mount Buller and you want to come down and warm up a little bit, please make your way to Winton Motor Raceway for this round 5 of the Shannons Nationals. Great to watch it on the stream. We love that, but certainly live and in 3D is a great way to go motor racing as the field starts to compact up a little bit. We've got 6 laps remaining. We're on lap 3 now, and this is the battle of the race. In fact, we've already seen a position change between the 28 and the 97, which is Westaway and Holding, and just off the back of this group is Mark Torberts. He's slowly sneaking into this scene because these two are actually holding each other up now.
They certainly are, yeah. This is the battle for 5th position, mind you. We can see just ahead of them on track, Ken Rowland is still all over the back of Brad Winter. But Brad Winter isn't giving him the time of day right now, driving a very defensive race to make sure that he stays on the podium spots for his first race back in quite some time. As they come down towards the second last corner now, Ken Rowland won't be able to do anything here, and they're almost catching up to Adam Brewer. So Adam Brewer hasn't really got the start he was looking for. I was having a chat to him in the pit lane earlier. After he posted that lap that got him on the front row of the grid, he said the car had some hesitations in terms of power. It would sort of lurch a little bit as he's running through the high revs, accelerating up on those straights. So hopefully that's not an issue at this race, and hopefully it's not too detrimental to his performance.
So as far as the 944 Racing Championship, the club championship is concerned, Matt, we've got our main protagonist running out in front, haven't we?
We certainly have, despite the fact that he didn't put any points on the board at round 3, which is a state series round at Winton. The fact that they dropped their lowest scoring round in the club championship means that Cameron Bell is still leading the way with a perfect score of 9 scored races so far and 234 points. Tony Westaway is 30 points behind, who is now currently sitting in 5th in this race, of course. He is second after having capitalised on that inability for Cameron Bell to register points at Winton, taking 2 wins and a second place last time out. The next 2 runners in 3rd and 4th in the championship, Lyndon Watson and John Kennedy, are not appearing at this race. There's a little bit of a move there from Rob Holding. He's around the outside as they exit the Gumtree section. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold that line, and Tony Westaway is still there, but they're almost side by side. I think Rob Holding's just a little bit behind, and he's not... Oh, he might have a lunge here onto that corner. No, he's going to stick behind. There's a little bit of a lock up there from Tony Westaway, and as they were, Westaway in 5th and Rob Holding in 6th position.
Westaway, a massive understeer as he got about a third of the way through the sweeper. The higher depot car, number 4 of Ken Rowland, now in front, but that car behind him, Holding, that one there, could not take advantage of it. He drew alongside, but I tell you what, that was a pretty scary moment for the 28. The car just off the back of screen there was struggling for grip into the sweeper. The last place you want to be struggling for grip here at Winton, because if you go off, it's a long, long way to try and regain his spot in this race. We've got 4 laps remaining. Cambella leading the way, dragging a full set of points, 26 points for race 1. Then it's Brewer, Winter, Rowland, Westaway, Holding, Talbots. Then it'll be Michael Westaway, Dickie Howe, still in 9th, started 9th and holding position there. Tony Andrzejewski in 10th, Doherty, Venoris and Peter James rounding out the field.
Jimmy Mitchell wasn't able to get that control arm fixed that we saw in qualifying, the let go at the back end of the circuit, so he's still sitting in the garage trying to get that fixed up. He's not sure if he's going to be out for race 2 later today, which will be starting at 3:40 p.m, but we'll hopefully see him tomorrow for races 3 and 4. But it is a 13-car field for this race 1, as Ken Rowland we see is all over the back of Brad Winter, still trying to get past that car. Ken Rowland as well having understeer issues of his own. He mentioned to me in qualifying he suspected there may have been an issue with a suspension control point, running the wrong camber on that right front wheel, but he's looking to hold pace to the podium cars to 3rd place at the very least, so he's not lost a huge amount of speed as a result.
With 3 3/4 laps remaining for our race leader, Cameron Bella. He's done the fastest lap of the race, a 1:34.27, a 5.5 second lead over Brewer, which this is the next battle we're going to be watching for, is this battle now. It's Brewer back to the number 22 of Brad Winter, and have a look at Rowland. I get the feeling that Rowland is just watching it play out in front of him. He's got 3 laps to make a move on, and it's probably on this lap that he wants to really start to apply the pressure.
Yeah, he may have been sussing out passing opportunities as he goes around this circuit, trying to figure out the best places to pull alongside. And if he had a chance to glance in his rearview mirrors and look back at the battle between Tony Westaway and Rob Holding, he would have seen that he could almost attempt to pass at any point around this circuit. Those two having a fantastic scrap at all sorts of areas, as Adam Brewer still powers away in 2nd position. If he stays where he is, it'll be his best finish, not just this season, but in his racing career. He's had a little bit of experience with sprint level stuff in other Porsche cars, but this is his first fully fledged racing series, and this season is his first full-time campaign, as we touched on during qualifying. So to be able to come up to the front as quickly as he has is a phenomenal job from Adam Brewer.
Ken Rowland nearly tripping himself up that time through the sweeper, just getting a little bit frustrated behind the number 22 of Brad Winter there. He's looking to get a better run out of here, and then the run up there. A bit of a lock up there, also coming in for Brewer. So the Bradwin Roofing number 22 car now trying to catch onto the back of Brewer. All at the meantime, his mirrors are absolutely plastered with a Ken Rowland. He's sliding the car around, moving it around in the higher depot outfit. Interestingly enough, the cars that are running from 2nd down to 6th were all within 1 second of each other in qualifying, all in the 1:35s. At that point, that makes it really tough to overtake. If you're all running within sort of 3/4 of a second of each other, it really is the best man standing at the end that gets the result.
That's absolutely right. And that lockup that we saw from Adam Brewer at turn number 10 on that last lap shows that he's feeling the pressure as well with 2 laps to go. So any of these 3 vehicles you can see on screen right now are a chance for 2nd position in this race. Hopefully none of those guys make mistakes which will result in the other drivers benefiting, of course. but anything can happen in these races. We see them touch the curbs on the exit of what I believe is turn number 4. So they're just going through the long left sweep now, where some drivers say they struggle due to the layout of their cars. If you've got a right-hand drive car, you've got an awful amount of weight sitting on the outside of that car as you go around that bend, and it makes it pretty difficult to maintain momentum through there. And now we see Westaway and Holding even catching up to the back of these ones battling for second position. So it's getting to be a very, very close race for second all the way down to 6th.
So in this race, Brewer, Winter, Rowland, Westaway and the Michael version and Mark Torbitts have all set their own personal best lap times. So really good gains by some of those guys as far as their own personal lap times are concerned. The problem is they're in a field with 7 other cars that are setting personal bests. So fantastic day here at Winton for racing. We can tell that because drivers are setting their personal best times. They're getting the best out of the Porsche under them. They're getting the best out of that Yokohama control tyre. And that can often be the advantage that we see who is actually playing the game with the control tyre the best. There can sometimes be up to a second with someone that's got a starting set of pressures that are spot on. And the engineers and the mechanics in the paddock will say, yep, we knew that. And then other times it's just a luck of the draw that you've rolled out onto the track and you have got exactly what is suiting those conditions. I'm not saying that's what Cameron Bella's doing. There's no mistaking Cameron Bella's results. He's got the runs on the board. But some of the others certainly taking advantage of what the Yokohama offers to them grip-wise and longevity-wise can certainly be the difference between their result at the end of the day.
Some of these drivers are also strategically running on slightly older tyres this weekend here at Winton, just so they can save some fresher tyres for Phillip Island, which is in just over 2 weeks' time, I believe, for round 5 of the state championship. And the weather at Phillip Island is always unpredictable, as we know. So if it's going to be raining there, you want to be on as new a set of tyres as possible. So a lot of the guys are holding on to some of those newer ones and just saving them from that Phillip Island round in case that falls into their favour during the state championship round.
Gee, there's a lot at play at that last round of the state championship at the end of September. Get down to Phillip Island and see that just about every category is wide open for a result down there. So the final round will decide all of the state champions at Phillip Island for the CAMS Victorian State Championships. But Cameron Bella on screen now. Matt, this is continuing a stream of victories in 2019 for Cam Bella.
This is almost as fast as he's ever been around Winton. His last lap was a 1:34.09, just 2/10 or so off the lap record for this category around Winton. He crosses the line now to win race 1 of this weekend. He doesn't set a faster lap time, but it's a fantastic result for Cameron Bella nonetheless, who continues to move ahead in the championship. Meanwhile, it is Adam Brewer who finishes second, with Brad Winter just ahead of Ken Rowland, finishing 3rd and 4th respectively for those guys. The battle for 5th and 6th is raging on as well, as we see Tony Westaway. I think he has crossed the line in 5th position ahead of Rob Holding, so they've finished 5th and 6th. Michael Westaway has crossed the line in 7th, and Mark Torbitts has dropped a couple of spots from where he started in 8th position. As we see the checkered flag out now, we're still waiting on 5 of the cars to come around and cross the line, but it is Cameron Bella, you see on screen now, who takes out race 1.
Gee, the car looks tidy, doesn't it? Nice, new, fresh paint job on there. There's number 31, guy that got second, is coming alongside Cam saying, well done again, mate. What have we got to do? And I'm going to say, Adam Brewer, what you do, mate, is you have to get off the line a lot better and lead this guy into turn 1, because if he gets turn 1, he just absolutely smashes the field. So, Cameron Bella gets away with another victory in 9.44. A great result there for him, 8.720 seconds. And then it was Brad Winter, further 11 seconds behind Cam Bella as well. Ken Rowland, Anthony Westaway, Robert Holding in the Bayside Commercial Real Estate entry, Michael Westaway, Mark Torbitts, Dickie Howe and Tony Andrzejewski rounding out the 10, some 40 seconds behind race winner Cameron Bella. Some great shots. The local Benalla Gliding Club up in the air. They fill the skies regularly on these lovely weekends. We thank you for joining us here at round 5 of the Shannons Nationals. The Porsche 944s head off the track. Thank you very much, Matt Dunlop. We'll see you again at 3:40 this afternoon.
Thank you very much. We'll see you then. It's going to be a great race.
So welcome to everybody that's joined us trackside here at Winton and on the live stream. We'll be back after this short break.